fast travel, the system of ultimate convenience. It saves you so much time, but in my honest opinion, it keeps you away from fully exploring the world of the game. We play these giant open world games with miles of map to explore, and we skip over so much of it because traversing the world isn't really the fun part for most of these games. I'm going to propose a scenario that we've all been through. You stroll into town A, you talk to the random quest giver, and they send you a quest location that's a quarter way across the map to grab the who's he what's it, and then you have to go back to town A, and after that, surprise surprise, quest man doesn't even know what to do with the mystery MacGuffin that you just risked your life for. And now he wants you to deliver the thingamabob to the random unknown expert in town B, which is all the way across the map. Before going to each new location, you check your map and you see that you don't have that first quest location discovered. So you have one or two options. You can either buck up and shut up and slowly walk where you need to go, or you fast travel to the nearest found location and then take a shorter walk from there. And we all know you're picking the second option. After going through the quest and getting the thingy, you fast travel back to town A and then get told to go to town B, which you do have on your map. And we both know that you're not walking the whole map just to turn in a quest. You're gonna fast travel, and just like that, the quest is complete. Most people don't really see a problem with this because it's just been the standard for so long, but I want that to change. I've been playing Fallout 4 VR on survival mode, and honestly, not being able to fast travel has made me really question fast travel as a whole. Walking around and seeing everything that the world has to offer is just extremely immersive and makes me appreciate the world more. But there was one big issue. It was fucking boring. There's so much downtime when going from just point A to point B, and his only saving grace is that there are random encounters that can turn into quests or give you some lore, but they don't fully make up for all the time spent just walking. The main counter to this problem that comes to my mind is to make traversing the world actually fun. The main thing that comes to mind is Prototype 2. I didn't even realize that game had a fast travel system until my second playthrough. Being able to run at super speed, run up walls, have a glide that's essentially just short range flight, and a playground of NPCs to screw around with, whether it's just the people walking by, the military's tanks and helicopters, and the mutated enemies, you have plenty of things to do that are very different from each other, making the random combat not feel repetitive. This fun movement point also goes for games like Spider-Man and Batman. Having fun mobility really makes moving around just a blast. Another thing that came to mind is a vehicle system, which I desperately wanted in Fallout 4, but that's beside the point. Cyberpunk and Grand Theft Auto have cars, but honestly, I end up fast traveling in those games too, because unless something good comes on the in-game radio, I'm not usually in the mood for a road trip. But then that sends my mind to open world survival games, and I'm going to use 7 Days to Die as an example. You get vehicles in that game too, but honestly, I have fun while traveling in that game, and that got me thinking, why is it different? After taking time to really think about it, I realized this because in these open world games, even without a specific goal, there's still things I can do that are important enough in the long run to make the journey not feel like a waste of time. Then I realized that same logic also applies to Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And I won't lie, I fast traveled in those games too a few times, but I spent most of the time manually traveling. And this applies to other survival games too without fast travel. I noticed that even though walking kinda sucks in those games, constantly having even a small goal made the walking seem less like just a means to an end. Another option that could be taken, which might not be that popular, is to make the open world game smaller. A quality over quantity kind of aspect. If the world has less to explore but more to do, you'll spend less time traveling and more time having fun with a quest. And I'd love to have both, the giant expansive world and still have them filled with tons to do, but if I had to pick one or the other, I'd prefer having more to do. So after taking all this time to reflect, honestly, I still wouldn't remove fast travel. Overall, still feels super necessary and it saves you from those long boring journeys that halt your gameplay. But I'd love if the long journey wasn't boring and that it didn't feel like it halted my gameplay. More so, it was just more amazing things to see.